Hi, my name is Brent Boer with B&B Lumber Company. Today we're going to talk about the April 2020 monthly safety meeting. We'll be covering three topics today. We're going to cover ladder safety, talk about housekeeping, we're going to talk about slips, trips, and falls. So let me just quickly go through the bullet points on the ladder safety, and then we'll move down through housekeeping and slips, trips, and falls. And we'll have a few other side note pieces of safety at the end of the meeting, so stay tuned. So really quickly on the ladder safety, ladders, falls from ladders are one of the leading causes of occupational fatalities and injuries. Workers are aware of ladder safety are less likely to get hurt, so it's very important that as we talk about ladders today, talk about them with your supervisor. If they're around your area, make sure that you understand the types of ladders that you'll be using. Make sure you know how to use them. You know, this is just a brief overview of this. It's not meant to teach you the on-floor piece of this. So please ask your supervisors and direct team leaders how to handle that. So ladder safety. Please read and follow all labels and markings on the ladder. Speaking from personal experience, I didn't necessarily know how to read the label properly. So please, again, talk to your team leader and supervisor on how to read labels and make sure that you know what you're getting up onto and how to properly get up onto it. Do not use the last two steps of the ladder. The last two top steps are not to be used. I know they get you up there a little bit higher, but they are probably the leading cause of why people fall and ultimately get hurt. So always inspect the ladder prior to use. Is it cracked? Is it bent? Are the support mechanisms that open it into that A-frame, are they cracked, bent, or hurt in any way, shape, or form? Do not use a step ladder in a closed position. Do not close it, lean it up against the wall, climb up it. It is not being used in its proper function. Use a ladder only on a stable level surface unless it has been secured top or bottom to prevent the movement or falling of the ladder. Do not place a ladder on boxes, barrels, or pallets for extra height. Do not exceed the maximum load rating of a ladder. Be aware of the ladder's load rating and the weight it is supporting, including the weight of any tools or equipment that you may have on a tool belt, on your shoulder, and or in a bucket. Do not go beyond the load rating. So the use appropriate type of ladders, you'll see type 1, AA, 1A, 1, or 2 on the sheets that you have in your hands. Never use a type 3. Those are only for non-commercial use. Never type 3, okay? And never substitute ladders using step ladders for step ladder tasks. Use extension ladders for extension ladder tasks. Use ladders where they're supposed to be used. Do not substitute. We're going to move right into housekeeping. Housekeeping, it seems very basic, but ultimately I see cords, I see brooms that are left falling over, and I've had some very close calls myself in the last year as I walk through the plant on weekends or at night, and I'll not catch an extension cord that was left drooped across. Maybe it wasn't plugged in, but it's still a trip hazard. So let's put our tools away. Let's make sure that things are cleaned up before we go home, and let's try to clean them throughout the day. So whether that's repairing pallet boards, make sure that if you tear a pallet board off of a pallet, you don't lay it on the floor where nails are sticking up, and fundamentally they're going to catch the co-worker that's walking through, and we've had people puncture the bottoms of their feet because the nails jab right through your soles and they hit right into the bottom of your foot pad. There's numerous examples like that throughout the facility that we can talk about, but it really speaks to the importance of housekeeping. So again, the purpose, clean work areas. Clean work areas do have fewer hazards for employees. I already touched on that. One of the main reasons accidents happen is because of poor housekeeping. Please clean up after yourself in break rooms and in restrooms as well. The number one complaint among you employees about our facilities is the break room cleanliness and the bathrooms. So you've got to look at each other and look in the mirror and say, how do I make this different, right? It's not about the employer keeping it cleaner for you. It's about you keeping it clean for all of us to continue to use. So be sensitive to others. Flush the toilet paper and dispose of paper towel and earplugs in the trash, not in the toilets, okay? Chewing tobacco. Please don't spit on the floor. Keep a lid on the container that you use and make sure that it doesn't get spilled all over the place. It's really disgusting when you're trying to fix a piece of equipment and you lay down and you're covered in somebody's spit. That's really not something that I want to have to deal with again, but I can tell you I've already dealt with that on countless occasions. So please try to be aware of that and not cause somebody else to have to get into your tobacco. It is responsibility of all employees to keep their work areas, customer areas, and the entire premises clean at all times. Keep walkways, aisles, stairs free of tools, cords, power cables, air hoses, ratchets, straps, materials, and other things, all tripping hazards. Report or repair floor problems such as cracks, missing tiles. Keep tools stored in their proper location. Return tools when done. Always put trash, including earplugs, wrappers, etc., into proper disposal container, garbage can. If a container is full, contact your supervisor and or pick up the container yourself and take it to a dumpster. We all can take ownership of this. Do not throw trash in barn cleaners or conveyors that lead into our waste systems. We have customers for our chips when you walk past the chip bin, or our sawdust or our bark bin. Those customers do not want to see our earplug wrappers, our earplugs, our tin foil, our chew cans, any of the garbage that we bring to and from, breaks. We don't want to be throwing that in anywhere but garbage cans. We don't want to lose our byproducts customers, and they have complained in the not too distant past. So do not blow off with anything other than a blowdown station. And when sweeping up in dust piles, please pick up the piles, dispose of properly, and watch for foreign items. And that about covers it for housekeeping. And lastly, we're going to talk about slips, trips, and falls. Okay, pretty much ladders and housekeeping did encompass some slips, trips, and falls in that portion of the discussion. However, almost 1 in every 4 work-related injuries, 25% of the injuries when we're talking about work-related injuries, result from slips, trips, or falls. The second highest cause of work-related fatalities after vehicle accidents is from slips, trips, and falls. How to avoid these injuries? Storage places should be safe and convenient for all of our things, our tools. Walk, don't run. That's a big deal. That is a big deal. Something that I've personally worked on over the last decade was to just walk. And there's absolutely nothing that we should have to run for or from unless there's a fire or a bomb threat. Even then, I would offer it's always going to be better to try to walk and get out of the building in a controlled manner. Avoid carrying items that will obstruct your view. Keep aisles and walkways clear. When possible, stay on marked travel aisles and paths. Very important. Do not take shortcuts around machinery or equipment. Avoid areas that are cluttered or poorly lit. Clean spills immediately. Secure loose mats, meaning the mats that are on the floor that we're walking on. Report damaged stairs, walkways, or floors. And absolutely don't text while walking. It's something that I'm guilty of, and as I read it, I'm gonna make it a point of getting better at that. And I'm not gonna do it anymore. And you guys are all gonna hold me accountable for that. So that said, that covers the 3 items on this month's safety meeting. I would also like to talk briefly about current events, COVID-19, and as I'm going to have you come with me for a moment. Again, we're going to talk briefly about our expectations in leadership right now, that if we envision this as a 6-foot circle and you're in the center of that circle, I really need everybody practicing proper social distancing. So anybody that comes inside of your circle should have a mask on or a barrier, okay, that we're using. And we need to really keep it to 10 minutes or less when we stay inside of that boundary area. So it's very, very important. We're finding that this is preventing the spread of this disease, and we really want to keep everybody working here. We want to keep you safe first and foremost. We want to keep you healthy, your family's healthy, and we want to make sure that you're able to come back to work and we're able to have a place to work. So the last piece of this meeting would be our the quarry owner, Kinsella, has opened the road that is directly in front of the orange gates. So we have not put speed bumps up yet. I would just offer, there are stop signs before and after the orange gates. Please honor the stop signs. They have huge Uke trucks and loaders that are passing by, and you are not going to win that battle. And they have the right of way to continue through that aisleway, and your car has to stop, wait for them to pass, and then you can head on. That said, that's it for the April 2020 safety meeting. I hope everybody is doing well, and I hope you all have a good rest of the day. Thank you.